Hello and welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm Sapsterr. NHL 24 recently dropped, and the HUT content has been fantastic. Everybody knows what they are working towards, which are the team builders like 87 Joe Nieuwendyk and 87 Brian Leetch, and we're also working towards ultimate icons like Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, and Gordie Howe. While those type of cards should be rounding out the top of your lineup, there are some underutilized base icon cards that can be used at the bottom of your lineup to fill out any holes that you might have. I'm going to show you why some of these cards should be at the bottom of your lineup, and if you shelter these cards correctly, they'll be able to put up massive numbers for your team, and they'll be able to fill in the spots on the third and fourth line, or maybe even your third D pair, where they will not play a lot, but they're going to make the most of their time, and they won't be a hindrance out on the ice against the big guns. First off, we're going to be looking at right winger from the Ottawa Senators, Danny Heatley. Danny Heatley, Mr. 50 and 07. If you look at his card, he has 90 speed, 87 acceleration at 6'4", 218 pounds. You might be wondering, well, Sap, why is he only an 80 overall? Well, if you look at his checking attributes, his checking is abysmal, 71 body checking, and his defense is quite miserable as well at 79 defensive awareness. Here's the good news though. At 6'4", 218, his pure size is going to be able to allow him to both shield off hits with his balance, while also dishing out massive hits. Momentum means more than body checking, in my opinion, in this game when it comes to laying a good hit. And when you're on the wing, you're going to be forechecking, you're going to be in on that forecheck, just grabbing pucks, and your goal is to snipe. And with 84 wrist shot accuracy and 83 slap shot accuracy, Danny Heatley's definitely going to be able to get the job done, while also streaking down the wing in order to power himself to the net. This player will be fantastic on your third line on the wing. Pair him up with maybe sniper forward synergy and a couple playmakers, and he's going to create a lot of damage. You can even put him on the power play if you're worried about your wingers becoming too tired. Those wingers are in your top 6. When looking at low overall forwards to round out your lineup, you should be looking at two things in particular: their speed and their shooting. And Mike Gartner of the Washington Capitals has the first part, speed, absolutely covered. 94 speed. He is only beaten in that category by a few players, like Teemu Selanne, for example. But Mike Gartner is not going to cost you 200,000 coins to create. Mike Gartner goes on the market for about 20,000 as people have started to notice his use, and this is a card you can slide in on the fourth line. At 6'1", 190, he's not going to get knocked off the puck too easily, and his shot is serviceable as well. Defensively, he's not going to be able to do much. He only has 80 stick checking, and when it comes to body checking, he's not going to do a lot either. He has 78 body checking. But this is one of those cards where with his 82 endurance, which is just good enough, you're going to be able to speed down that wing, get behind the defense, and score a bunch of breakaways. Mike Gartner has always been a fantastic card in NHL, and this year will be no different. If you are a Canuck fan, you were aware in the early 2010s of how fast Mason Raymond was. Mason Raymond was perhaps the fastest player in the league, and he proved that when the Canucks went to the Stanley Cup Finals in 2011. Mason Raymond in this game is the lowest overall icon that I am going to show you today, but his speed is still spectacular. 76 overall, but with 89 speed and acceleration with 81 agility is actually quite impressive. Or this player is going to be able to get in on pucks on the forecheck if you decide to dump the puck around the boards, as getting into the zone cleanly through puck carrying is a little bit more challenging this year. He doesn't have good anything else. No, his shooting's not good, his hands aren't good, his checking's not good, his defense is not good. But he has that speed that's going to be able to get behind the defense, and again, this card is crucial if you're looking for breakaway goals. Against the squad battle AI, for example, when teams have 84 speed, 84 acceleration defensemen, Mason Raymond's going to be a card that you can just insert into the lineup and just get breakaways galore with. If you pair him with Mike Gartner, you have a formidable duo to beat the squad battle AI and to work your way up through divisions 4 and 3. Rounding out our wingers, we have Brendan Shanahan of the Detroit Red Wings. 81 overall with 86 speed, 86 acceleration at 6'3", 220 pounds. He also has silver off the rush, which allows him to take advantage of his 82 slapshot power and accuracy. Brendan Shanahan at his size is going to be able to hold on to the puck. His endurance is quite good as well for an 81 overall. He doesn't have good defense and he doesn't have good body checking, but like I said earlier with Danny Heatley, at that size, he's going to be able to throw hits anyway as long as he has some momentum. His hands are adequate, his shooting is adequate, and at 6'3", other than Danny Heatley, 86 speed, 86 acceleration is pretty good. He actually has the same speed as players such as the Sedin twins or Jason Robertson of the Dallas Stars. So if you're looking for a card to fit into on your fourth line, maybe kill a penalty or something, just to have a big body out there, but you don't want him to be a detriment when it comes to getting beat behind him, you're going to want to pick up a winger like Brendan Shanahan. Rounding out our forwards is centerman Mike Modano of the Dallas Stars. Mike Modano is 6'3", 212 pounds with 90 speed and 90 acceleration. This is fantastic for a center. When I showed earlier Danny Heatley, he had 90 speed but only 87 acceleration. Mike Modano as a center has 90-90, which is fantastic. His awareness stats, offensive awareness and defensive awareness, are both 84 or higher. His shot is middling in the 80s. His hand stats are also middling in the 80s. And his body checking is quite bad. However, like other players around that size, he's going to be able to lay heavy body checks just with momentum. 6'3", 212 is very large. He has the two-way forward synergy, which if you activate, brings his defensive awareness up to 87 and his offensive awareness up to 89. His face-offs will be 76 without the synergy, but it will be 79 with. And he has silver elite edges to allow you to cut really tight. If you put Mike Modano with Mason Raymond or Danny Heatley and Mike Gartner, that line is going to dominate lower divisions, and it might even surprise some players in Division 2 and Division 1 off the counterattack. Mike Modano is a great option and is probably the player I suggest most out of any of the forwards on this list. Starting off for defensemen, we have also from the Dallas Stars, Sergei Zubov. Sergei Zubov has a team builder card, and if you want to test out Zubov, although at a lower overall, I highly suggest picking up his 80 overall base icon card. Sergei Zubov has fantastic defensive awareness, especially if you activate the two-way defenseman synergy. It'll bring his defensive and offensive awareness up to 87. His stick checking will be at 86. His shot's kind of middling, but you're not looking for that in a defenseman. And his acceleration and speed are both 86, which is more than enough to compete on your third D pairing. AP right now is at 50, and there's not a lot of players with a lot of AP, so you can put on elite edges on a third pair defenseman and not feel too bad about it. His hands are also really good. He has 86 passing, 85 puck control. He doesn't really have good deking or hand-eye, but you shouldn't really be deking with your defenseman anyway. His body checking is quite bad, and at 6'1", 198, he's not really going to be able to be one of those guys who is able to just hit people with momentum. But this is a fantastic card if you're looking for someone to plug low into your D pairs and just get the puck out, skate the puck out a couple times. This is a prototypical puck-moving defenseman at 80 overall. Rounding out our right-handed defenseman from the Colorado Avalanche, we have Adam Foote. Adam Foote is 6'2", 220 pounds. He has the defensive defenseman synergy, which offers a +3 to body checking, +4 to defense awareness, and a +5 to stick checking, as well as +3 to endurance. Now, with Adam Foote and a few of the other cards, you might notice, especially on defense, you might notice that their endurance is actually quite high. Adam Foote's is 91. He's going to be able to stay out on the ice if you put him on your third pair for quite a long time. And with Silver Shutdown, his stick checking, which will be at 91, and his body checking, which will be at 83, will be even more enhanced. And at 6'2", with 85 speed, 85 acceleration, he's definitely going to be able to take care of other people's third and fourth lines as long as you shelter him properly. For me personally, when I played defensemen on the third pair, they usually play around 3 to 5 minutes per game. If I put them on the penalty kill, it might be 6 or 7, but he is just good enough to where if you shelter him and put him in the proper situations, Adam Foote will flourish. Highly recommend him as one of our right defenseman options. At left defense for the Pittsburgh Penguins, we have 81 overall offensive defenseman Sergei Gonchar. Sergei Gonchar is the current assistant coach for the Vancouver Canucks. But before all that, he was a legendary offensive defenseman. He has the offensive defenseman synergy, which offers a +1 or 2 to all of his shooting stats, as well as +2 to passing. At 6'2", 210, having 87 acceleration, 87 speed, as well as 86 endurance is fantastic. And with Silver Seeing Eye, those shots that you take from the point, as long as there's a screen, you're going to have great success scoring goals with Sergei Gonchar. His hands are also terrific at 86 passing, but he does not have good body checking, and at 6'2", 210, he's right on the cusp of being one of those guys who can throw body checks despite his body checking attribute, but I wouldn't go for it all that much. Instead, stick with his 83 stick checking and his 84 defensive awareness. This is a really good offensive defenseman on the left side that you can use if you're looking to maybe snipe a few more goals. If you don't have someone like X Factor Quinn Hughes, maybe this is a player that you can slide in on your third pair. For this player, rounding out our list, I wanted to take you to my team screen so I can show you that I actually do use this player on my team, and it is 81 defensive defenseman Zdeno Chara of the Boston Bruins. We got Zdeno back. He is going to terrorize lineups, especially with the defensive defenseman synergy, which gives them a +3 to body checking, +4 defensive awareness, +3 to endurance, +4 to shot blocking, +5 to stick checking. This gives Zdeno Chara 89 defensive awareness and 86 stick checking. He has 86 body checking, 90 endurance, and at 6'9", 250 pounds, he has 84 speed. There are some defensemen, if I scroll over to Rasmus Dahlin, who's 6'3", 202, he has 85 speed. Zdeno Chara is 48 pounds heavier and 6 inches taller with a reach that you could go across the ice with it, and Zdeno Chara has only 1 less speed, and he has 6 more endurance. His shot does not have any accuracy to it. You're not going to be able to deke with him. You're not going to really be able to turn with him. But with Silver shut down and the defensive defenseman synergy equipped, this is going to be a fantastic defenseman to plug in on that third pair. And if you look at my lineup, I also have him second penalty kill. And on the 3-man PK, I have him on the first unit of the 3-man penalty kill. Zdeno Chara is fantastic. Put him with a defenseman who can move the puck, and you're going to notice Zdeno Chara having a massive impact in your lineup. And those are some base icons I suggest you use in NHL 24 HUT. Whether it's Mike Gartner or Brendan Shanahan on the right wing, whether it's Danny Heatley or Mason Raymond on the left wing, Mike Modano down the middle, whether it is Zubov or Adam Foote on right D, or Gonchar and the massive Slovakian monster Zdeno Chara on lefty. These are all cards that will be able to fit down at the lower parts of your lineup, maybe on some special teams. They're going to offer you a significant advantage, whether it's defensive awareness, whether or not it's speed and shot. These cards will bring you success in NHL 24. I'll be back with more content. Feel free to follow me on my socials at twitch.tv/Sapsterr, SAPSTERR. I'm also obviously here on YouTube at Sapsterr. I'm also on TikTok and Instagram at Sapsterr. I'd like to thank you for watching this video. I'll be back later on in the next week with a Squad Battles video. Squad Battles has been really hard against the Superstar AI, trust me. As well as future how to score and how to play defense videos as I start to learn more about what the meta is in NHL 24. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a terrific day. Ciao.